Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Jessica Gem here with a new video for you. Welcome to Season 2, Part 2 of What If Deku Never Returned to UA. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. And so, we begin. The Shrouded Rabbit. That's what they called him. He hasn't noticed until now. Ochako pointed it out to him. So many articles and forums all talking about him. It was unnerving. They were camping somewhere off UA, a few dozen miles. It should be safe enough. It's his shift, though Bakugo is up with him as a precaution. He had just switched with Ochako. They seemed to have a system to keep an eye on him. He noticed it less before, but something's been wrong with his childhood friend these past few days, and he could tell by the way his eyes have been locked firmly on him the entire time. It isn't just a precaution. His friends don't trust him, and they're still afraid he'll run off. Izuku doesn't blame them. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. It takes a few minutes, but he's able to compose himself and regain some of his strength. He stands up and stretches, trying to relieve some of the tension in his muscles. He's exhausted, but he knows he won't be able to sleep anytime soon. He's too on edge, too worried about what the rest of the night might bring. He walks over to the edge of their small camp. He looks out, trying to see if anyone's out there and if anyone's watching them. It's dark, but there's enough light for him to see the outline of the leaves. It's silent. There's no movement. He can't see any sign of anything, but he knows he can't let his guard down. He has to be careful. The stars twinkle above him, illuminating the night sky with their soft glow. The moon casts a silver light over the forest, casting everything in a ghostly pallor. The trees loom over him, their branches reaching out like those same bony fingers, trying to grab hold of him and steal everything he's worked so hard for. He shivers, feeling a sense of foreboding wash over him. He turns to look back at their camp, where his friends are laying. He can see their silhouettes and the rise and fall of their chests as they breathe. He wishes he could join them, but his mind won't let him rest. It's consumed by thoughts of the Shrouded Rabbit, of how he made everyone worry, of how he needs to fix that going forward. He takes a step forward, his foot sinking into the soft earth. The forest is alive with the sounds of the night, the chirping of crickets and the hoot of an owl. It's peaceful, but it does little to ease the knot of anxiety in his stomach. He can't shake the feeling that someone is watching him, that Shigaraki is out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He turns to head back to camp, but something catches his eye. A flicker of movement, a rustle of leaves. He freezes, his heart pounding in his chest. He holds his breath, listening intently. There's nothing, only silence. He lets out a sigh of relief, feeling foolish for letting his imagination get the better of him. He makes his way back to the small camp, his mind in turmoil. He doesn't know what to believe or what to trust. All he knows is that he needs to be on guard, that he needs to be ready for whatever comes next, and he needs to understand that those around him have his back. Hey, Deku! Ah! He let out a whispered scream, only to slap a hand over his mouth as soon as he realized it was just Ochako calling him from the ground. She snickers, and he grimaces as she starts to fully giggle at his antics. Sorry, she whispered between her laughter. Didn't mean to scare ya. It's okay. Sorry, I'm just jumpy. He takes a seat next to her small patch of grass and taps Todoroki on the shoulder to let him know it's his turn to keep watch. He feels a bit better as he feels his friend get up and walk out to the lookout spot. Turning back to his other friend, he tries to smile through his words. Are you okay, Ochako? Can't sleep? Yeah, kinda hard to sleep right now, but I'm okay, she replied, still stifling her laughter. I just, wanted to check on you. I know it's been crazy being on the move like this these past few days. I just wanted to remind you that I'm here for you. And that we all care about you. Izuku nods, feeling a warmth spread through his chest. He is grateful for her words, for her support. He knows that he's not alone, and that he has friends who will stand by him no matter what. Thanks, Ochako, he said, smiling at her. I really appreciate it. I'm just worried. Worried that I won't be enough. Worried that things won't go well. Worried that I won't know what to do when we meet Shigaraki again. I know, she said, patting his arm. But you're handling it well. You're strong, Izuku. And you're a good person. You're going to be okay, and we got your back. Izuku nods, feeling a sense of comfort wash over him. He knows that she's right, that he is strong, and that he's capable of handling whatever comes his way. He takes a deep breath, feeling the tension in his muscles begin to dissipate. He's ready for whatever the future holds, ready to face it head on. With Ochako's words of encouragement ringing in his ears, Izuku lays down, closing his eyes and allowing himself to finally drift off into a peaceful sleep, ready for the next day. Only sleep doesn't come, and he's left staring up through the trees once again, those thin branches reaching out to him, taunting him, holding him hostage in the little clearing they've found. He turned his gaze back to the sky, studying the stars as they twinkled above. They were so distant, so untouchable, and yet they seemed to hold within them a sense of hope. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was determined to find a way to overcome this new obstacle. You asleep? He heard Ochako's quiet voice. It was barely a whisper. I can't, he responded, just as quietly. I can't stop thinking about Shigaraki. It was silent after he said those words. He understands. He's essentially dumping his guilt and worries onto his best friend. How was she supposed to respond? With a guilty mind, he didn't stop himself from continuing on. I need to kill him. Izuku's words hung heavy in the air, a somber reminder of the weight they both carried. Ochako didn't respond right away. Instead, she let out a sigh and shifted closer to him, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. I know, she said softly. There isn't any avoiding it. I heard a bit of it, the conversation you two had. I'm sorry you couldn't get through to him. Izuku could feel the warmth of her hands seeping into his skin, and he couldn't help but feel grateful for her presence. Before, he'd been alone to ponder over these feelings. The voices of his predecessors were the only ones to listen, but now, he has his friends. He has Ochako. How do I do that? He asked, turning his head to look at her. How do I take a life, one that I know could have been saved? By making sure it matters. By making sure it means something, she said, her voice firm but gentle. By helping to make sure another Shigaraki isn't created in the future. Izuku thought about her words, and he knew she was right. He took a deep breath, feeling the tension in his muscles begin to dissipate once again. He closed his eyes, with Ochako's words of wisdom guiding him into the darkness. But once more, he can't seem to drift off. This time, it's Ochako who clears her throat. He turns over to her, and holds his breath as he finds tears silently falling from her eyes. He freezes, wanting to reach out a hand, wanting to be there for her just as she has been there for him. Ochako. Her first name is still weird to say, but in the same light, it feels natural. What's on your mind? She smiles, before looking over to Izuku and letting her mouth fall into a thin line. Himiko Toga, what about her? Izuku's heart sank at the mention of Toga. On the surface, she isn't much different from Shigaraki. They both are a part of the same team, and both of them have dangerous goals. He had seen the devastation she had caused firsthand, and the thought of having to face her again made him feel ill. But there was something there. She seemed different. He'd felt that same need to save when he had encountered her before, the same as Shigaraki, but I don't know, he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. I don't know how to deal with her. She's not like Shigaraki. I don't think she's lost. She's like us, Ochako offered. Just doing what she thinks is right? Maybe, but that doesn't change the fact that she's dangerous, and we need to stop her from hurting more people, Izuku stated, looking down at his scarred arms. I think I need to try. Ochako squeezed her fists tight. The same way you did with Shigaraki. I need to try with her. And maybe if she doesn't want to try with me, then we can bring her in and get her the help she needs. She's been wronged by people, told her quirk and her nature were fundamentally wrong. Maybe she just needs someone to accept her. The feeling of envy washed over Izuku as he realized Ochako's resolve. I'll support you, he said, but I can't promise it will be easy. Toga is complicated, and I don't know if she can change, or if she even wants to. Ochako nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. I know it won't be easy, she said, but I have to try. For the people she's hurt, for the people she could hurt in the future, and for her too, because deep down, I think she's just lost and alone. They sat there in silence for a few moments, each lost in their own thoughts. The weight of their responsibility felt heavy on their shoulders, but they both knew they had to carry it. They were heroes after all. Izuku took a deep breath, steeling himself for the battles to come. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but with Ochako by his side, he felt like he could face anything. Let's do this, he said, determination in his voice. Ochako grinned, her own resolve shining in her eyes. Together! The morning sun did little to fend off the cold air of the forest. Dew covered the ground, and mist hung low over the trees. The rustling of leaves and the chirping of birds were the only sounds to be heard. The quiet stillness is disrupted by the sound of footsteps crunching through the underbrush as a group makes its way through the dense forest. The head of this group was shrouded in a hooded cloak, their face hidden from view. They moved with purpose, as if they knew exactly where they were going. As they continued through the forest, the trees began to thin, and eventually they emerged into a clearing. The hooded figure stopped and looked around, taking in the sight of the sun rising over the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over the world. The cold air was forgotten as the figure raised their arms, embracing the warmth and beauty that the day provided. Little did he know, however, that right beneath his nose was a world of growth and suffering. From the grass to the trees to the smallest of insects to the moss growing on some bark. It all seemed to tremble, cry out for help, as if they could tell the world was on fire. They were getting closer. Hey, you ready for this? The rough voice of Katsuki Bakugo called from behind. He didn't stop. He simply clenched his fists and took a deep breath. Yes, this has to be it. We need it to end here. They moved once more. Deku? Bakugo called once again. What is it? Izuku replied. I'm sorry. Huh? Stopping in his tracks, Izuku whipped around to find his childhood friend standing still, with his eyes planted on the dirt in between them. In front of them, he can hear Ochako and Todoroki stop as well. There was only one thought on his mind as he tried to piece together his friend's behavior. What does Gachon have to apologize for? Out of nowhere, Bakugo's voice bubbled with regret. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I never meant for you to end up like this, as you've been. It's my fault. Izuku looked at his friend, his green eyes filled with confusion. Gachon, what are you talking about? Bakugo took a deep breath. I'm talking about everything. The way I treated you, the bullying, the fights. I was so caught up in my own ambition that I didn't even realize what I was doing to you. Izuku's expression softened. Gachon, you don't have to apologize. I don't blame you for anything. We were just kids, and we've both grown since then. You're wrong! Small crackles illuminated from Bakugo's palms. I messed you up. You were different before, I remember. And for so long, I treated you like trash. And for what? Just to have you treat yourself the same way. It's my fault. You never would have left in the first place if I hadn't. Gachon, you don't need to do this. I didn't leave because of what happened in the past. I left because of what I experienced now. Bakugo's voice trailed off as he looked down, avoiding Izuku's gaze. If I hadn't treated you like you were worthless, he finally admitted. Told you that you were worthless, took everything you loved, and said you were wrong for doing it, things would have been different. You would have been different. Izuku placed a hand on his friend's shoulder. Gachon, I made my own choices, and I'm happy with the path I took. I get it, and I understand what you're saying. But you can't change the past. Maybe you're right. Maybe what you did to me as a kid was messed up, and maybe I would have been different, and maybe that would have been a good thing. But the Gachon I know now has more than made up for that. And I'm getting better, and you're helping with that. From my perspective, I've already forgiven you for all that stuff a long time ago. Bakugo's eyes shot back up, a mix of relief and gratitude in them. For a moment, they lingered on Izuku's face, a cloud of guilt still hazing the shine from them. His words came out soft and small. Thank you, Izuku. The two friends stood there, both lost in their thoughts, until the sound of footsteps broke the silence. Hey, you two, we're almost there. Ochako called out, reminding them of their goal. And then the group continued on, each lost in their own thoughts, but with a new understanding of each other and a newfound resolve to face what laid ahead. Shigaraki was close. This time, it will be different. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the content thus far. I hope you've enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to say if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, I'd like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years and older to join our crew. You can sign up for whatever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for new members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, farewell, and have a divine day.